Hello and welcome to the Adelaide Oval, the hottest place on earth today ahead of the second test between Australia and India. But the fallout from that first test in Perth, the conversation has been even hotter. So we, Sam Jordan from 9 News and Tom Decent from the Sydney Morning Herald, thought we'd better get in here and have a chat about the test match that we are about to see. Tom, so much discussion around the makeup of the Australian team. We have just had it confirmed from Captain Pat Cummins. One change, Scott Boland is in for the injured Josh Hazlewood.
Yeah, we got news a few days ago that Josh Hazlewood was out with a minor side strain, and all signs indicated it was going to be Scott Boland to come into that 11. We know he played for the Prime Minister's 11 down there in Canberra on Sunday, had a bit of a bowl to the tourists and looked pretty good, done for 36 off 10. And look, barring a major issue with Mitch Marsh or something, the Bo Webster could come into the 11. We probably thought that was going to be the only change, and confirmed by Pat this evening. And yeah, interesting that he said Mitch Marsh will bowl. All indications are that he's going to be okay to bowl. They didn't want to get him in the nets too much and sort of overwork him too much. So interesting that he will bowl, supposedly.
Mitch Marsh has been having a bit of fun with that this week as well. He actually walked past all the journos yesterday limping and grabbing at his leg, but he does think that he will be able to bowl as well. Pat did say for Australia they are prepared to take 4 frontline bowlers in and not maybe lean on Marnus as much as we did see in Perth with that injury to Hazlewood too.
Interesting at the press conference too, Cummins said that the reason the Marnus bowled so much is because we were just managing Josh Hazlewood. Now, the Aussies have said for a few days that we think that he's going to be all right for Brisbane, and there's been a little bit of scepticism there, but Pat was very emphatic, wasn't he, that Josh Hazlewood looks like he will play that Gabba test. So, but again, Scott Boland averages 13 with the pink ball. He's a weapon in that format, and anything could happen. But again, like a long time there, and Pat did say like that in years gone by they might have pushed Josh Hazlewood a bit there, and that turns into a sort of a 3-4 week injury. But yeah, got it done, and they're happy with the 11, and I think that seemed pretty unflappable. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I felt the same as well. As you can hear the final preparations going on at the stadium as well. But look, I think that conversation around Mitch Marsh in these last few days too has taken a bit of spotlight off the batsmen, which may have come as a bit of a welcome relief for them. There were all kind of calls and suggestions from former players and pundits in the last week about the makeup of this Australian side, but it was always expected they would stick solid with a team that has had so much success as well.
Absolutely, like they try not to ride the highs and lows of what they've maybe done in the past, and very sort of settled captain at the helm there, and a lot of good communication with the guys as well. We could tell from the nets yesterday pretty confidently that it was going to be the same top 4, and all their guys getting their work in. We know Marnus Labuschagne's been working overtime to get those technical flaws sorted and try and get himself in the best headspace to face Bumrah, and the same for Steve Smith and Nathan McSweeney as well. So like a serious interrogation that will be for them under lights, potentially, and a huge toss as well coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. That weather could also have a role tomorrow as well. You mentioned Marnus Labuschagne there. We watched him bat last night, close to half an hour after the last teammate did get out of those nets. He showed a lot of intent this week, which is something that has been called for.
Yeah, Cummins said in the press conference that it's hard to ignore the discussion around Marnus and needing him to show more intent at the crease. We know he's 2 off 50-odd balls. In that first innings in Perth wasn't great, and like it is hard to face Bumrah, but it's even harder when you're not trying to score. So that was clear in the nets yesterday. We saw him really playing through the covers and really looking to score and dominate and hit the ball a little bit harder, we think. And on the flip side, Nathan McSweeney didn't look amazing in the nets last night under lights against a Wanger and a pink ball. So he's got a really big test here, a home crowd obviously, and his second test. And if the team's not winning and your top order's not firing, like who knows what could happen. But I do expect a bounce back from them, and I think Marnus Labuschagne a sneaky 100 potentially.
Yeah, he's looked really, really good in the nets as well, which I know counts a little when that match starts. But you mentioned how big this is a match for some of those top order batsmen, certainly for this Australian side as well. We had new Cricket Australia CEO, or incoming Cricket Australia CEO, Todd Greenberg, speak this morning, and that question was put to Todd and Chairman Mike Baird as well, which is how important is it to win this and not go 2-0 down to start of summer? It'd be a very high pressure situation for Australia if they can't get the win here. Yeah,
it's been a long time since Australia's lost the first test of the summer and gone on to win a series. 1988's the last time they lost 3 home tests in a row, and that's obviously the Windies test at the Gabba into the last one in Perth. So yeah, there's a lot at stake as well, and this is a series where a lot of people predicted a 4-0, 5-0 whitewash to the Australians, given what India did over there against New Zealand at home. So yeah, huge stakes, but like how exciting. There's so many different storylines to follow over the next few days.
Exciting. We saw India train for the first time here the other afternoon, and there were 5,000 fans here in something that I've never seen before. What about the excitement around this India side too? We know it's stacked with stars, but I think for them, no doubt, things feel a little bit different now because they know that they've got another chance to claim history here in Australia.
Definitely, and they'd be very confident as well. They've got some big names coming back into the side. Rohit Sharma will definitely come back in, and well, they are blessed with talent over there. But it was interesting, Dan Brettig's piece on The Age and the Herald, that India had 5,000 fans who are training, and they said, nah, enough's enough. They're not a big fan of the open training sessions, which interestingly, Mike Baird and Todd Greenberg today said, oh, we're happy if Australian fans want to come along to their training. So I don't know whether that's a bit of a siege mentality or they're just getting sick of blokes watching them behind the nets and saying some things and putting them off. But yeah, like, they're not the rock stars of what they like back in India, but there is a big Indian contingent here who are hanging out the front, wanting to see a glimpse of Kohli and the likes, aren't they?
And plenty of, that's exactly right, and plenty of excitement around this test match as well. We will be back for the daily recaps throughout this test too. Until then, we'll chat with you soon.